Yeah, so my first experience was 3 months ago when I did a similar journey, psilocybin journey. That was facilitated by Ivan and Lana and Dr. Nick. And it was in a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours' home. So it was a really beautiful, sacred space to do it within.
And then from there you made the decision to come to this retreat?
I did. I had a really deep, I felt like I was very called to Lana and Ivan's work in particular. Mm-hmm. Initially vicariously, because it happened through a really dear friend of mine who had been doing quite a bit of work with them, and who then, brought them into a larger retreat setting that they were facilitating. And I went into that experience. It was my first facilitated psychedelic experience, and I don't think I would have done one if it wasn't with such experienced facilitators and who I had heard really deeply profound transformational change from. And I had been undergoing a lifelong spiritual experience, and I've been to many retreats of all different kinds: spiritual retreats, yoga retreats, meditation retreats. And it was by far the most profound experience that I had had. I went into it with this deep intention of really wanting to be shown what my true purpose is in life. And it's been something that I've been thinking about a lot, as I transform from the very career-oriented, focused part of my life and parenting into feeling very much like I would like to be giving more and being of service to other people. Mm-hmm. So that was what my intention was, is, show me what my true purpose is. And it just was such a transformational experience. It came to me very, very early in the medicine journey, and it was so clear and so beautiful, which is one of stepping into a healing and facilitation role. Mm-hmm. And I thought I would be, because like all of us in life, we've experienced grief and trauma. And, in my personal experience, I had lost my parents when I was in my mid-40s, not too long ago now. And I have felt a sense of being alone from a maternal and a parental perspective. And I wondered if I might go really deep into a sense of grief around that. And early on, they were there with me, and it felt like it just dropped away, the sense of that I'm not alone, and the people that I care for are with me in spirit and are embodied and supporting me in my life's journey. And that was a really beautiful thing. And there were many things that happened in terms of just seeing the the beauty of life, and my connection in a deeper sense, and my connected consciousness to not only all of the people who were journeying alongside of me, but the greater consciousness of humanity and the universe, which I hadn't seen to that extent before. And I feel so thankful for that experience. Lana called me up and said, okay, Laura, I'm going to do this women's retreat. And I was like, I'm in. And I really felt like all of the from the very moment that I walked in the door, that those women who were there, that we were very much meant to be together and share those 3 days with each other. And we experienced a tremendous amount of healing, all of us, individually, together. We healed ourselves and one another, and also had many experiences of, grieving for greater things that have happened in our greater humanity as well. Like in my journey, I felt such a deep love and connection to the women who were in the group. And then at other periods in time to feeling a deep, empathy and compassion for recent events, which have transpired, like the discovery of, residential school children in unmarked graves, and really grieving for that process. So I think when I first embarked upon pursuing a psychedelic journey experience, I thought it would be very personal and very internal. But it hasn't been that way for me so much as being a real sense of that life isn't just about me, it's about us. And that, my healing is our healing, and it's such powerful work to be doing. And such a deep sense of heart connection as well, and then love, because life is love. And love is both beautiful and wonderful and emotional. And I'm not just talking about romantic love, I mean love as a pure form of beauty in life. And love is painful and tough, and to really deeply be able to feel and experience those things. And I know from my first journey, I realized as well as I didn't need to make sense of it. When I went back, home and into regular life, I felt like things were just so different. There were things that, I potentially was, worried about before or fearful of, that just didn't matter anymore. I didn't even think about them. So I think the psychedelic experience is deeply transformational in so many ways that we don't even realize and recognize.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways we don't really need to. Yeah. But I felt and feel like I've really stepped into, myself and my purpose in life, and that I feel so free. I think it's unique, and my sense is that we're drawn to Lana and Yvonne and Dr. Nick as well. And there's a connection that happens before we actually physically get together, which, at first I was just marveling in that is actually possible. And, with Lana, when I met her, she came to me, she walked across the room and held me by my shoulders and said, looked me in the eye with such beautiful authenticity and said, I know you. And I knew her. I know her. And to be, I feel so fortunate to have been part of such a deeply cultivated, curated experience. It was almost like being part of an orchestra in so many ways. Like, it was just this beautiful experience of intention setting, connecting with people, with all of the people beforehand, doing some breath work, which I think is a very, very powerful tool prior to the journey. And then the process of sharing our intentions. And I have never worked with such wise people before who really helped not only myself but all of the participants to really think about and craft and create an intention, a very powerful intention for them, with which to bring forth into the journey and to help to focus that experience. Yeah, wonderful.
Beautiful.
And then, of course, there's the amazing the music and the way that Yvonne, as the true maestro, carries everyone individually and collectively through the journey. And I found it really fascinating too at times where, Lana knows, she just has such an intuitive sense of when to come and share, her healing energy, and when it's time, and sometimes it's not even because she's physically there beside me. She could be across the room and I could just feel her channeling energy towards me, and with Ivan in this particular ceremony where he would come over and help me to go deeper or make a adjustment in my consciousness to help me to pursue that part of my journey. It's really beautiful.